The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
Good morning. A suspect held in connection with the death threats to the Prime Minister. The Bahamas 8th on the regional murder rate chart. And the Economic Affairs Minister believes that the government's numbers are optimistic but achievable. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, February 10th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, the countdown is on to 242 Day. We're trying to get everybody to celebrate the Bahamas on February 24th. We'll tell you some ideas on what you might want to consider doing. And we'll be open to hearing your suggestions as well. And later, the Super Bowl this weekend. We're getting predictions from our sports team here at the National Guardian. And later in our Safe and Sound series, we are talking about crime, what's working, what's not, and why. That's all straight ahead on a busy Friday morning. But let's begin with what else is in the news. And that's in the news. In the overnight, police are questioning a 58-year-old man from Carmichael Road in connection with death threats made against Prime Minister Philip Davis last week. The man was arrested on Wednesday and is being questioned at a press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister last week. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said 2 anonymous calls were made to the Office of the Prime Minister shortly after noon by callers believed to be men. It's unclear whether the same individual made the calls. Fernandez said both calls happened after the other, roughly 15 minutes apart. He said the caller threatened the nation's leader's life. While Fernandez did not say that he believed the caller or callers to be connected to the Coalition of Independence, which led a protest outside the House of Assembly against illegal immigration last week, he started the press conference by pointing to a clip on social media purportedly from the protest in which a protester called for the assassination of the Prime Minister. Speaking about the protester shouting that the Prime Minister should be assassinated, Fernandez said at the time, quote, "Acts like this will only take the temperature to another level." The Bahamas ranking 8th on Insight Crime's 2022 homicide roundup of countries across Latin America and the Caribbean. Though a few of the countries, including Haiti, were not ranked because there was no reliable data on the number of homicides last year. The Bahamas finished 2022 with 128 murders. That's 32 per 100,000 people. Turks and Caicos Islands, which had 77.6 murders per 100,000, topped the list. For the first time in 3 years, Jamaica did not have the most murders per capita. The Jamaican Police Force, recording 1,498 murders in 2022, 24 more than the previous year. That puts Jamaica's homicide rate at nearly 53 per 100,000, a high not seen since 2017. The mailboat MV Legacy ran aground near Egg Island off Spanish Wells. This happened on Tuesday morning as it lost generator power. The Ministry of Transport and Housing confirming this now. The MV Legacy provides mailboat service to Marsh Harbor, Abaco, and apparently the vessel left New Providence en route to Abaco and lost generator power. The ministry is reporting that the cargo on board includes 4,500 gallons of diesel fuel, 5 vehicles, a tar truck, and other miscellaneous cargo items. Information Commissioner Keith Thompson slamming opposition leader Michael Pintard for falsely claiming at an F&M meeting that he was one of the officials written to for information who refused to even respond. As he put senior public servants on notice that they will be called before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament to answer questions, Pintard, the PAC chairman, said most of them who received requests for information on government contracts did not even bother to respond. Pintard was apparently wrong on 2 fronts, though. Thompson has responded, saying, quote, "I am now saying that never happened. Mr. Pintard should produce whatever communication he says he sent to me in my capacity as a Commissioner of Freedom of Information. He has to produce that and say where he sent it. Never came to me." And responding to a recent analysis of the fiscal strategy report by credit rating agency Moody's Investor Service, in which it called the Davis administration's revenue collection and growth projections optimistic, Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis says, quote, "We have to be. The government has set an aggressive target of 25% of revenue to gross domestic product by fiscal year 25-26, with a target of 20% recurrent expenditure by the same time. Revenues forecast at 22.9% of GDP in 2023-24 and 24.4% in 24-25. Halkitis says that the revenue is not really the issue, or a big issue. Overseas rescuers pulling several people alive from the shattered remnants of buildings today, some who survived more than 100 hours trapped under crushed concrete in the bitter cold after a catastrophic earthquake slammed Turkey and Syria, killing more than 20,000 people now. The survivors included 6 relatives who huddled in a small pocket under the rubble, a teenager who drank his own urine to quench his thirst, and a 4-year-old boy offered a jelly bean to calm him down as he was shimmied out. But the flurry of dramatic rescues, some broadcast live on Turkish television, could not obscure the overwhelming devastation of what Turkey's president called the, quote, disaster of the century. Entire neighborhoods of high-rise buildings have been reduced to twisted metal, pulverized concrete, and exposed wires, and the magnitude 7.8 quake has already killed more people than Japan's Fukushima earthquake and tsunami, with many more bodies undoubtedly yet to be recovered and counted. 4 days after the earthquake hammered a sprawling border region that is home to more than 13.5 million people, relatives wept and chanted as rescuers pulled a 17-year-old from the basement of a nearby building near the quake's epicenter. He'd been trapped there for 94 hours, again forced to drink his own urine to survive. And Russia unleashing strategic bombers, killer drones, and rockets in a barrage of attacks on Ukraine today as a military push by Moscow that Kyiv says has been brewing for days appeared to pick up pace ahead of the 1-year anniversary of the invasion. The Kremlin's forces forced their bombardments on Ukraine's industrial east, especially the Luhansk and Donetsk provinces that make up the industrial Donbass region, where fighting has recently been most intense. But the barrage went further, also taking aim at the capital, Kyiv, and Lviv, near Ukraine's western border with Poland. It also struck critical infrastructure in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city in the northeast. 7 people were wounded there, 2 of them seriously, according to the governor of the region. Air raid sirens went across most of the country, and the Ukrainian Air Forces say its defenses destroyed 5 Caliber missiles and 5 Iranian-made killer drones. In sports, Bahamian collegiate swimmers Devontae Carey and Kiana Moss representing the McKendree University Bearcats getting in some action at the Great Lakes Valley Conference Swimming and Diving Championships in Indiana. Moss is up first, competing in the women's 100 yards butterfly. She clocked a time of 57.37 seconds, finishing with the 11th fastest time overall, falling short of a spot on the A final by less than a second. She swam splits of 26.49 and 30.88 seconds. The freshman was scheduled to be in the pool last night to swim with the B final. Carey was set to swim in the men's 100 yards fly, but scratched from that race. You can read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the NFL, as the countdown is on to the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes dominating the voting for the AP NFL Most Valuable Player Award. Now he'll try to break the MVP curse. Mahomes, who also won in 2018, easily outdistanced Jalen Hurts, receiving 48 of 50 first-place votes from a nationwide panel of media members who regularly cover the league. He earned 490 points to 193 for Hurts, who got one first-place vote, 26 seconds, 11 thirds, and 10 fourths. Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs face Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl on Sunday. Mahomes thanked the Chiefs organization and his teammates in a video at NFL Honors on Thursday night. The last 9 MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that season are 0-9. Kurt Warner was the last to win both the MVP award and the Super Bowl following the 1999 season. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your first look at weather for today, we've got strong high pressure centered northeast of the area that will continue to support mostly stable weather, but brisk winds across the area as well. Meanwhile, large and long period northerly swells coupled with brisk winds will maintain hazardous boating and beaching conditions throughout today through tonight. Beachgoers should stay out of the water, and small craft operators should remain in port due to rough surf conditions and dangerous rip currents along north and east coast beaches. And pedestrians and motorists should exercise caution along coastal roads due to large swells that can possibly produce overtopping waves and sea spray that can reduce visibility and create hazardous driving conditions. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly sunny, breezy to very windy and warm conditions with a chance of a few passing showers, mainly across the central and southeast Bahamas today. Mostly fair and a bit breezy tonight. Small craft operators should remain in port. Winds southerly or southeasterly at 15 to 20 knots in the northwest Bahamas and east to southeast at 20 to 25 knots in the central and southeastern islands. Seas 4 to 7 feet near shore, but up to 8 to 11 feet offshore in the northwest Bahamas in northerly swells. 6 to 9 feet near shore and up to 8 to 12 feet offshore in the central and southeast Bahamas in northerly swells. Temperature-wise today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to around 68 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. We're currently at about 71 degrees right now in Nassau. We'll have your extended outlook for your Super Bowl weekend coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day.
It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Greetings, allow me to introduce myself. I am the
New Tortilla Lime Crunch Chicken Sandwich from Wendy's.
and I have a little of everything. Avocado, taco mayo, pickles,
And crunchy tortillas on top of a delicious breaded chicken filet. Yes, the new Wendy's Tortilla Lime Crunch Chicken Sandwich has as many flavor personalities. Try it today at your Wendy's, where we are different inside and out.
Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Already get the first set of knowledge. Now it's time to prepare you for college. You're thinking so much you gotta do. Legacy will handle that for you.
Legacy College Readiness and Tours is committed to providing a comprehensive guide through the college selection process, regardless of a student's academic profile. There are many ways one should engage in college selection process. Word of mouth, extensive research, college fairs, and if possible, the most important, college visits. A campus visit is your opportunity to get a first-hand view of a college. A college catalog, brochure, or website can only show you so much. To really get a feel for the college, you need to check out the town, the city, walk around the quad, sit in a class, and visit dorms. College tours are an important part of the college selection process, and Legacy College Readiness and Tours offers that opportunity. If you're interested in hearing more about college campus tours and summer workshop prospects, give us a call at 242-809-5278 or email us at legacycollegetours@gmail.com.
With over 25 years in business, nothing says commitment to our people, culture, and service like Rev. And this year is no different. We will continue to elevate your home experience for you to create and share memories for years to come, while keeping you connected to the people and things you love most. Our pledge to provide quality service each year remains true. Rev is made for you.
Hi, my AC just went out and I need someone to come fix it.
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Okay, what about tomorrow?
We're only open on Thursday. And we're fully booked.
Have anything next week?
No.
Okay, when can you send someone out?
The 22nd is open.
I'll take it.
Of December 2023.
With the best medical cover for your dollar, we're like an AC technician who isn't too busy for you. CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Good like that.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I am Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Stephen Hanna. Stephen Hanna, good morning. Okay.
Loud. Wow.
Oh.
This is super loud. Oh, a second. That's not true. Go ahead. Continue.
Well,
we're all here. We're all here.
Yeah, we're saying good morning to you. There you go. Okay.
One of these buttons does something. There we go. All right.
A little off. There. Okay. Hope you're well.
Now we've knocked everything out of circuit.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
cool.
Coming up this morning. We are going to be talking about 242 Day. We've been telling you about this, trying to get everybody on board, and we only have about, 2 weeks? 2 weeks to February 24th. And if you don't know what we're talking about, we've been trying to get folks to celebrate this day on February 24th. The 24th day of the second month, 242, the Bahamas area code, if you didn't know that, and make that a thing every year. And so we're going to be talking about ways you can observe and celebrate 242 Day coming up this morning. I want to hear from you about it as well. That's all straight ahead. Later in the show, we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl predictions. Our sports team will be joining us, and they're going to tell us what they think. Want to hear from you as well.
When is that
Don't say those things. Don't say those things. People will look at you in a poor light.
Why?
Because it's not a thing a sensible young man like you should be saying.
What's sensible about the Super Bowl?
You don't know. Okay. Wow. Anyway, we might have to mute his mic during that segment. Then later in Safe and Sound, our monthly series, we're going to be talking about crime and taking a critical look at what's working, what's not, and why. I want to hear from you in that as well. That's coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. So a lot to get to on this Friday morning. Let's begin, though, with what else is in the news. And in the news, we heard yesterday that somebody has been arrested in connection with the death threats to the Prime Minister. They're questioning police questioning a 58-year-old man from Carmichael Road in connection with those death threats. And that man was arrested on Wednesday, we're told, and he's being questioned. As you know, last week, Friday, there was a press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister where the Commissioner of Police told us that they, around noon or just after noon, there were two calls threatening the life of the Prime Minister. And they're not sure.
But everybody else seems to think that it's not a big deal.
Not everybody. Just a few people.
Just a few people say it's like, oh, it's not that big a deal. Everybody gets that. And it's like, bro, come on now.
You have to wonder about those people. But
and then also, like, they arrest you for everything else. But apparently threatening somebody's life, the thing that everybody complains about every day on the radio, is not a big deal.
No, it seems, according to those people, depending on who is threatened.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Right.
Whatever.
Depending on their occupation.
There's certain things
and
that
position
shouldn't
in
matter
life.
who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We should take it seriously.
But we shouldn't even be listening
rape,
to those people.
It shouldn't be, that person is a well-known person. It's Dwight Strachan. It doesn't matter if somebody threatens to rape him.
Wow.
No, I was just saying, like,
very deep,
I was just saying, you should take certain things serious no matter who it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't a matter of saying, somebody making fun of Dwight because Dwight's bald. All right? This is somebody threatening Dwight's person.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Use some other examples. You're
the only person in the room.
Oh.
All right? So it's like, I don't understand how people don't see how this trickles down.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you could threaten the life of the highest well, in practice or in principle, the highest office of the land, the life of the person holding the highest office in the land, then who is Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely.
And why should we take murder seriously if you could just willy-nilly say, "Oh, I want to kill this person"?
But don't worry, the people who weren't paying attention, who think, and the ones who were vocal and made themselves publicly known that they felt that way are people we've been looking at side-eyed for a little while now. And then those hiding behind text messages saying, "I don't see what the big deal is," well, they wouldn't say that in public or on the air.
No, first say your full name.
Right.
Say
exactly.
your full
say who
Christian
you
name
are
and
why
where
you
and also where you live.
No big deal.
No, say where you live. So like, see if you believe in it. It's always safe. It's just words. It's nothing. Blah, blah, blah.
And as you said, if this were to happen to any one of us or anyone we care about, we would definitely want the police to investigate and make some arrests and question somebody. So, no matter how you feel about someone politically, there's no reason to play off or to laugh off something as serious as this.
There's certain things that you cannot say. All right, you can't scream fire in a crowded room. All right, and you definitely can't threaten somebody's life and say, "Oh, that's freedom of speech to express how angry I am." No. It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing. So it's like your freedoms extend as far as they impede somebody else's freedom.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what comes out of this. It'll be interesting to find out why they think this is the person. I don't know if this is the same individual in the video that came out just a couple of days before the threat was made. But of course, he was saying some very incendiary
crazy
things.
Crazy things. You can say crazy. I think that's the word that we understand.
That was insane.
Also, Dwight, we live in the Bahamas. If they cannot find the person who called or the phone that call was made off of, then the police have failed at their job. I'm saying, we have a closed circuit, bro. We are closed circuit. Dwight, there's no such thing as a burner phone inside the Bahamas. If you want to buy a SIM card, right, you got to go to one of the two people who does phone services.
What if you call from outside the country?
Okay.
I think it's a little extreme to say they failed.
They would have failed because that's even better.
It's not that easy.
Because then I'm certain that the people who doing work outside the country would very easily be like, "Oh, that number came from here."
Okay. Well, let's read a few messages here. Someone says here, Dwight, please read by text. Okay. They can find the Bahamian who made threats, but can't find one shantytown that's not covered by the injunction. Please convince me that these clowns from the judiciary to the executives are not compromised. I await your response. Well, I mean, I don't know how you could bring that into this conversation. That's very strange. But those are two totally different issues, and we have many questions about those issues, but I mean, what's the point of bringing that up at this moment when we're talking about that? That is a totally separate issue.
It's two different things.
I don't understand.
I mean, they can't find one that isn't covered by the injunction.
Okay. Anyway, this one says, isn't there a legal difference between saying someone should kill the official and saying, "I will kill the official"? Technically and legally, he did not threaten. You mean the person in the video? Technically and legally, he did not threaten the PM, but I agree it's unacceptable. Okay.
What? You guys are like, boy, anyway. See,
really needed to text that? I mean, okay, thanks. But
no, but like saying incendiary things is still illegal. If you say something that invites people to, I don't know, burn down something or to shoot somebody, you're still culpable.
Yeah. And calling for vigilante justice.
Oh, definitely. Because I know you didn't mean Batman, and Batman is guilty of all sorts of war crimes anyway. So it's like, Batman should not exist.
Yeah.
It's a comic book. If you're 6 years old, then by all means, you can feel free to be like, Batman's the greatest. But if you're an adult human being who has two brain cells to rub together, you realize that Batman is not the answer.
Let's see what this caller has to say. And you can call in as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796.
It makes sense, Dwight. It makes sense.
Which part?
The fact that that he would say vigilante justice, because like sometimes
we're not talking about him. We're just saying things like that.
No, but people like
Very
cartoons. They like cartoonish people, and they like this over the top, dramatic, animated foolishness, as opposed to what real life is. Real life is complicated and boring, and it won't get done unless you do the complicated, boring work. But as long as you want somebody who can make you feel all hype up and jumping around in circles and doing stupidness, then you're going to get exactly what you get. This is no different from any other point inside of human history where it's like you following behind somebody who move your spirit, but actually when you get home, your circumstances have not changed.
All right, let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight. Morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning, Stephen. Good morning to those who wake up in the land of the living. Hope you got something more on your chest. Dwight, you know something? It goes beyond, not just because of the Prime Minister, you know, but anybody, man. Nobody should threaten nobody, Dwight. And every threat you should take serious. And every threat that lobbied against anyone in this country should not take it to be lightly. Because we have seen, you know, people even call places with bomb threats and stuff like that. Threats are very serious, not just because it's the Prime Minister. And I think my good cousin, the Commissioner of Police, alluded to that. He said, anybody, you know, but in this situation, Dwight, you know, when we're going to, you know, we have our political indifferences with people. But, Dwight, as long as you've been a broadcaster and whatever, you know, this the type of level of politics that some people are going to get, you know, to, it's too immature when it comes to want to be a part of politics. And I keep telling people, some people in this country, Dwight, cannot take politics, but they can't take it. They can't take it, but they can do the most stupidest things, say the most stupidest things, and then when the reaction comes from the most stupidest thing, you're going to have a person like that texter who just texts and talking about Shantytown. Where does Shantytown play in the equation of this situation of being threatened? None. But it just goes to show you, Dwight, some people in this country just looking for something to say. And Bahamian people, don't threaten nobody, man. All right? Don't threaten nobody. All right? Because then at the end of the day, Dwight, I can't disrespect you or Stephen and threaten you all. I don't expect for you all to go to the authorities and the authorities to do what they have to do to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's not, you know, yes, the Prime Minister, yeah, that's our nation leader, yeah, he's a public figure, right? But at the end of the day, Bahamian people, from those in urban areas, anywhere in this country, don't threaten nobody.
All right.
You can't take threats lightly.
Appreciate it. All right. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Am I on the air?
Yes, you are.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I just want to address the previous call is so on point. Like I said before, if my 2-year-old threatens me, I take it seriously because my 2-year-old might have been influenced by a 40-year-old. And I don't know what control I have over that 40-year-old, so I need to take that seriously. But I just want to ask the question to your guest. Batman was a murderer.
Yeah, originally.
Sorry?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah, but are you saying now that Batman is also what we need now to clean this up?
Did you hear him say that? How did you get to that?
I never said we needed
the
anybody besides ourselves to clean it up.
Lord have mercy. Okay, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
I think because sometimes people speak slowly, you think that, you
Some
know.
people are mischievous.
Okay.
That's all. Simply as that. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. I've got some text messages here. The texter was saying that difference between saying someone should kill somebody and saying that I will kill somebody. There is a difference legally. Okay.
No, I'm sure there
we
is.
don't know whether the guy who's been arrested was the same person in the video. We don't know.
But
that
here's the
yet,
thing,
so
Dwight.
whatever.
When you hold a certain type of platform, or you're a part of a certain type of group and organization, you screaming something like me saying, "No one should eat ice cream. No one should eat ice cream," and then ice cream sales drop. Everybody who works at the ice cream factory gets fired. I didn't fire them. I didn't repossess their house. But I did encourage people to stop eating ice cream, which resulted in them being fired. So you say, oh, is it not my fault? Should I not be held culpable?
What?
I'm just saying, Dwight.
This is as ridiculous as the time when the beef industry tried to sue Oprah. I mean, and they lost.
Of course they did.
But what? This is not a good example.
No, I'm not saying to sue me for the failure of the ice cream industry.
Right.
But I'm saying, you don't see where there'd be a connection.
Okay. Well, I mean, it depends on who you are, right? Because if you're seen as a nobody, and no offense to the nobodies, but I mean, then nobody will care. But if you are a person of influence, perhaps, I guess.
That whole entire group, whether we go to no, but there's the thing, right?
I mean, it might not be related, so we don't know if it's anything to do with that. But whatever it is, the person needs to be held to account.
Here's the thing: without knowing who that specific individual is, there's no way you can tell me that the message of the COI, because that's who is primarily behind all this stuff, is not a group of influence anymore.
Okay. All right, let's take this call.
Dwight, every time that we open up the phone lines, at least one of your callers quotes them directly. He just says it in a very, very slow, drawling voice. Right? He's probably going to call today. The same thing with the tax. They have influenced enough people across the board. Well. So they must be held responsible for their actions. They are the ones and every single video where they protest, they're always screaming something crazy and incendiary. It's not just, oh, this is unfair, and it's not just racist stuff. They are always calling for some level of violence or some level of, we got to do something about these people.
Very aggressive.
Right.
Language.
And so it's like they must be held responsible for their actions.
Right,
and this person is a part of that group.
Well, good morning, call. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Because it is Strachan away so long with you and Steve and Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
We need justice, law, and order in this country. Dwight and Stephen, if that were somebody else pertaining to being trapped, the police wouldn't have dealt with it. Because I've experienced threats a lot of times, and I've complained to the police. I've even been and made a statement, and they haven't dealt with it. So it's only because it's the Prime Minister. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, yes. On one hand, that's wrong. That's wrong. But at the same time,
we don't know if that's across. We don't know if that's across the board. Unfortunately, it might just be you. We don't know if that's across the board. Other people have had their lives threatened, and they've gone to the police, and the police have acted.
Well, they haven't acted on my behalf.
That's very sad and unfortunate. I hear you. I'm sure a lot of people can say that too, but many others can say the police did act. I don't know if it depends on who the people are.
No, but that's still
but that's how it is with almost everything.
Yeah, but that's wrong. It should be across the board. I agree with them. It should be across the board. Like if anybody's life is threatened,
absolutely,
it should be taken seriously. I don't think that it should be just because the person's prime minister. But also, if not even the prime minister is protected by law, then just pack it up and go home. Because I know for certain I don't have the authority or the power of the prime minister. Do you have the authority or the power of the prime minister?
Certainly not.
Okay, so it's like if he cannot be protected by the law, then throw away the law because it ain't gonna protect nobody.
This is our shantytown friend again. The point is they only act against Bahamians, which they should do, but can't touch the untouchables, the shantytowns on Cowpen Road. The point is all wrongdoings should be addressed, but it is some here, only some, and mainly Bahamians being dealt with. Okay.
How do you know that person is a Bahamian who taxed in?
What?
How the person who's taxing, how do we know that they're a Bahamian?
Right. I don't know how they could be jumping to that conclusion.
How do we know the taxer is a Bahamian?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Could you tell them to send their passport number?
Why does it matter?
No, I mean, because they're like, oh, they don't care for Bahamians. Who are you?
But they also are assuming that the person arrested is a Bahamian. So, I mean, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
We don't know anything.
But that's what I'm saying. Ask the taxer to identify themselves.
I wish they wouldn't.
No, tell us your name, your full name, and then also send your national insurance number.
But again, back to the shantytown issues you keep raising, Texter. You know exactly what's going on here. And yes, they have the right, and that the court never prevented them from demolishing anything that was built after that injunction. And we don't know why they haven't acted, although now they claim they will. But that is
Dwight,
odd and curious.
We do know why they didn't.
No.
Part of the reason why they've been hesitant is because we have a housing issue inside the country. People can't afford.
That's a terrible excuse.
I didn't say it's a good excuse. I'm telling you a reason why. Because if you break down somebody, if somebody has every right to be in the country, and you break down where they live, now you've effectively made somebody who's a resident, citizen, a national in the country homeless. So where are they supposed to go now?
No.
Is that taxer going to take them in? That's a part of the question that needs to be answered while we do this. I don't want a shanty town anywhere.
Well, they're the government, and these are the type of situations they need to solve
immediately, right?
So they have the resources, the land. They can do these things. Can do these things.
Maybe you need
but
to get
they're
your
focusing. Okay, we've been trying for many months to get many cabinet ministers on, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this person says, I don't understand this text. Dwight, were you there? They actually said, was you there? But anyway, and police don't take that threat seriously ever, but I guess rich people's lives are more important than other ones. I was at the protest from beginning to end. Everyone never saw or heard any such thing. Y'all people like Stephen need to stop lying. Well,
Never
Texter, I don't know what's going on with you. You expect to hear everything everyone says at a protest?
How could you hear it when everybody was
I mean,
screaming?
I don't understand. But did you not see the video? Stop. What is going on? Are you okay?
No, because you know why, Dwight? Because there are persons who will defend their party to the hilt. The COI people don't realize that they are becoming exactly what they claim to hate. The only thing they're doing is just changing the name.
Oh boy. This person says, at every rally in the Bahamas, violent, hurtful things have been said to get elected and from their leaders. So it can't just be the COI. Well, it's getting very nasty in the country, indeed.
Dwight, I want you to notice how many texts you're getting in defense of COI.
No, let's keep calling the names.
No, because
juice. We don't need it.
No, but the thing is, whether or not we acknowledge it, the problem is here.
Okay, let me get through these messages.
Hitler and Hitler's youth are here.
Well, I think the point Bremen is making, maybe trying to make, is that when it's the average Bahamian, the police appear to take their time. Since it's the Prime Minister, they acted in record time to deal with the matter.
Yeah.
It might appear to be that, but we don't know. You can't, unless you know every situation, it's hard to say that. There are many people who can say the police acted very quickly when it came to threats. So you cannot speak across the board like this in such general terms.
Here's the thing.
Perhaps in your situation, it didn't happen, and that's not good.
Right. I'm saying, left or right, if they acted faster than they'd act with anybody else, I'm not even going to argue with that. Only thing we should ask for is that they act with this level of expedience with everyone.
Yes.
It shouldn't be, oh, they only do that because he's rich. It should be, wow, look how quickly they did that. Now replicate that every single day.
Yeah.
And we could get perhaps this crime rate and this murder rate down.
This text here, any threat against a nation's leader is a threat to dismantle a country. Power of the tongue. Yeah, it's not a good look. And if something were to happen.
Look.
And I mean, it was
it's
bad
not
enough.
Good. You could end the sentence there.
It's bad enough that when he was deputy prime minister, was held hostage in his own house at gunpoint. Right? That is crazy.
Dwight, we live in a very small country, and the majority of us live on an even smaller island. Any threat should be taken seriously because everything is possible.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Hey,
Turn
Dwight,
on your radio, please.
Hey, Dwight, Stephen, I didn't mean to call back, but you know something, Dwight? It just goes to show you, right, that, when you sit behind that microphone, you have texters calling you, telling you that the person didn't say what they say, but mind me, it's a video that went viral. I'm talking with people all the way in Canada, Dwight, see the video, but you still have someone who text and tell you that ain't no true. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show you, this new set of grouping of people, they're coming towards people with a barbaric, like you have to listen to them, right? Everyone have a right to decide their own political preference. But Dwight, when you're going to be violent and have a violent attitude and a violent leader with a mentality of not trying to keep calm, watch out for it, Dwight. Watch out for it. Y'all have a good day, brother, and a blessed weekend.
All right, thank you very much. This person says Stephen's sounding very negative today, but they're saying always sounds very negative. But I was assaulted twice, reported to the police, got the necessary information they needed on the case, and it was never dealt with.
And the police failed you in that instance. The justice system failed you. And something should be done.
Our text who I asked is if they're okay. And they said, I'm okay. Are you? Okay. Can I go and build on a land?
This mad man.
I can go and build on. Can I go and build on land that is not mine?
Yes.
If is that legal? If
No.
so, let Bahamas know so we can go and build and something and rent free. You should take them in, Stephen, and also take in the 70-year-old woman whose dome got broken down under the Prime Minister's watch. Where is this coming from? What is this all about? I'm for Bahamians, not COI. If you weren't there, you're spreading propaganda because you should be using the word allegedly. What?
Propaganda for who?
Because it's not proven that this person threatened. Who said that it was? Nobody said that. You're not okay, texter. No. In fact, I said it earlier. We do not know if it's the same person. We don't know. Stephen's saying that could have incited someone to do this. Nobody said it's him. So calm down. Take a breath. Chill out. Boy. Your guest, who I don't normally agree with, is correct about the COI. The COI is becoming a negative vibe, to put it very mildly. This one says, their housing issue, really? Let me take you to Grand Bahama, where homes and apartments are far less than in New Providence. I'm not asking. I know this go on any real estate site. Find housing and fix that economy, but we joking.
What are you saying?
Yeah, what are you saying?
What are you saying?
Just everybody just move to Grand Bahama? That's all they're saying? Just go?
Dwight, you know what else? I can move to Auckland and probably build anywhere because there's like 5 people in Maguana. We could all move to Maguana tomorrow and be fine. But here's the problem. There are no jobs in Maguana. The job that I have requires me to be in New Providence. We would then have to move some of these jobs and some of these businesses to the out islets. Can we do that? Like, it's not as simple as, just go to Grand Bahama. Bro, if we could have moved to Grand Bahama, you think we wouldn't? Dwight says no. But Stephen has no problem with moving to Freeport. I'd move to Freeport tomorrow. I'd move to Auckland tomorrow. I would move to the deepest, darkest creek in Auckland tomorrow if I could still perform my job.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, between electricity and internet and the fact that I need to show up to an office, I can't.
All right, this strange text. You talk about him being held at gunpoint, but talk about how everyone accused of being involved has been murdered. Allegedly, the bias has to stop the Guardian. How was that an example of bias? What's going on with all of y'all? Are you?
But Dwight,
what's happening?
Dwight,
how is that bias?
This week you actually said that.
I did say that.
You said,
but how? Yeah. Okay. So what's your point? The country is super corrupt.
Corrupt?
Are you happy? Everybody must be corrupt around here because I don't understand. What bias?
Dwight, I don't even know if to do corruption because statistically.
That makes it. We got to state that the people. So what does that mean?
Dwight,
what does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
What does it mean? Because we got a whole article in the Guardian today talking about how we are 8th in the region for murder. So it's very likely that you could get murdered here.
Especially if you're known to the police.
Oh, boy.
If you're known to the police, you're already dead. That's the truth of the matter. If they say known to the police, okay, well, we know what happened here. So it's like, those people are definitely.
Maybe you don't know what bias means, texter.
Dwight, none of those people who texted, I'm surprised a person could spell propaganda. No. It's true. They don't know what propaganda means. They don't know what bias. It's not mean. They need to know their own ignorance because they won't be able to fix it. Now, once they know that they're ignorant and they continue to go down that road, they're stupid. That's two different things.
242 Day to help us build all these. Oh boy. Anyway, hey, did you hear Burt Bacharach passed away yesterday? We won't be able to do it today, but all next week I'm going to be playing some of his most amazing songs. With a very unbelievably talented. I know, right? Very talented. But this is a fitting song because I say a little prayer for everybody in this country. Oh God. Anyway, we'll be back. Stay with us. A big prayer.
At work, I just take time, and all through my car, every time I say a little prayer for you. Forever, forever, you stay in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever. We never will part of how.
This Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your first good traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. RBC Specialists, mortgage specialists, can help provide helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. In your real-time traffic this morning at this hour, as usual, Miles Butler Highway is your hotspot this morning from Fire Trail, well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, all the way up to the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway roundabout in the northbound lanes there. Traffic's backed up along westbound on Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway as well to the roundabout. Then just north of Fire Trail on Gladstone Road, you're going to see that traffic as well, northbound to JFK Drive. And building traffic on Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road. Cowpen Road also seeing some building traffic eastbound to Faith Avenue and further east as you make your way to Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road's busy for you just north of Soldier on the way to Independence, on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. And Independence Drive seeing heavy traffic both directions, east and westbound this morning. In eastern New Providence, we've got Eastern Road from just east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road, and Prince Charles Drive near Elizabeth Estates, and especially on the way to Beatrice Avenue and onto the intersection of Soldier and Robinson Road. Robinson very busy between Soldier and Old Trail westbound this morning, and Soldier northbound to the intersection with Bernard, Wolf, and Village looking busy for you. That's what we're seeing so far. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic, brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Whether you're looking for your first or new home, or even using your existing home as equity, RBC understands that your journey to home ownership is unique, and your mortgage financing should reflect that. That is why, at RBC, we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
Are you ready to break up with your car? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship. Find your perfect match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
Sarah, how are you doing?
Okay.
Are you sure? I noticed you've been down lately.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. I can't really put into words how I'm feeling, but I know I don't feel like myself sometimes. There's just so much going on in my life. School, friends, sports. Sometimes I worry about different things and feel stressed.
I'm glad you're talking to me. And it's okay to talk about your feeling. It's normal to feel changes depending upon what's going on around you.
Yeah?
Of course. All of us should be concerned with our mental health and our well-being. Good mental health means that we can cope with our everyday stresses. You can talk to me anytime when you feel like it.
Okay. Reaching out these Strachan talks more often and take things from there.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
Whether your business is in-store, on the go, or both, let Fidelity work with you to maximize your customers' payment options with a fixed or mobile terminal so that you never miss a sale. It's safer than cash and more convenient so that you can take your business anywhere. For details, contact a business development officer today at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport, or visit our website at fidelitygroup.com.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
I walk along the city streets you used to walk along with me. And every step I take reminds me of just how we used to be. Well, how can I forget you, girl? And there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me.
More from Burt Bacharach. He just a wonderful catalog, and again, we're going to get into that next week. But this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna, and it's been a strange morning. Lots of bizarre texts. It's not the Friday the 13th, right? No, no, it's not. Anyway. So this is an interesting theory here. This person says all these kooks are coming out today because you said you were pulling for the Chiefs and not the Eagles.
Not the Legals.
Yeah, not the Legals. Not the Eagles.
You're pulling against Philly? You're pulling against Philly?
Yeah.
Wow. After all Rocky did for you? I assume that's the most famous Philadelphian, right? It's him and Meek Mill.
Okay. The text messages are getting crazy. So I'm having a back and forth with one person here.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't.
So this is the one who said that we're spreading propaganda and that,
Did they
we
spell
don't
it
know.
correctly?
Yeah, and that we don't know if the guy in the video, we didn't say that though. Anyway, so he went on to say, y'all privileged people is tickle me. Seems like you know nothing about what's really going on. Please read my text properly. I pay for these texts. Stop spreading propaganda. Oh. And I had to respond. We're not supposed to respond to the text messengers, but I said, call the darn show I'm editing. I don't have to read your text. And then he went on to say, if I were rich like you guys, I would.
Oh, you can't afford a phone call.
Don't do that. I would expose a lot of information that I don't think you all are ready for. If you want the truth, you have my number, about PI and plenty other things that's going on in the Bahamas. And you're cursing at me too? I will definitely call in. Y'all talk show hosts are disrespectful to the listeners that pay your bills, and Haitians don't even patronize your show. Wow.
How would you know?
Where did that come from, though? Where's the thing coming from?
How would he know?
But what is he saying? That we were only pandering to Haitians?
No, but I'm saying, how would he know that Haitians
Yes, how would he know? But why would that come up in the sentence? It doesn't make any sense. Because of what, the shantytown people?
The only way he would know that Haitians don't do it is if he's a Haitian and he's not doing it, because you can't prove a negative. How do you know? How do you know? I invite him to call in, which is 323-323-6232. Call in.
Or 325-4316.
I promise you.
325-425.
The 40 text messages that you sent at a nickel each is going to equal. What are you even talking about? Like, they have packages. You have enough minutes. Call in. Call in.
Let's see who this is. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. No, 323-6232. 325-4361. 16, sorry, and 325-4259. All right, this got way off track. We're just talking about the death threats to the Prime Minister and people bringing up all manner of things, and it's scary, the reaction that it gets when you talk about this, because a few days ago we had the same reaction, and people were bringing up all manner of things and discounting it and everything and reacting in a bizarre way. And again, this proves to me a lot of the issues going on in this country, that we really are at a point where many people are not valuing life anymore in this place.
Here's the thing, Dwight. They're angry, but the problem is their anger is being pointed in the wrong direction. It's being pointed at a person as opposed to being pointed at a system.
Yeah.
The system is the problem, not individuals, not one group of people.
All right, we got to go to the news. When we come back, we'll try to get this back on track, and we're going to talk about 242 Day. 2 weeks to go, and what we all should be doing to celebrate. Stay with us. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Now to check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got a strong high-pressure system centered northeast of the area. That's going to continue to support mostly stable weather, but brisk winds as well. And large and long-period northerly swells coupled with brisk winds will maintain hazardous boating and beaching conditions across the islands through tonight. Some warnings, though. Beachgoers should stand. Craft operators should remain in port due to rough surf and conditions and rough surf conditions and dangerous rip currents, mainly along north and east coast beaches. And pedestrians and motorists along coastal roads should be careful, as there could be large swells that could produce overtopping waves and sea spray that could reduce visibility and create hazardous driving conditions. For today, for all areas, look for partly sunny, breezy to very windy and warm conditions with a chance of a few passing showers, mainly across the central and southeast Bahamas. Mostly fair and a bit breezy tonight. Again, small craft operators should remain in port. Temperatures today getting up to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 68 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. In your extended outlook, high pressure will gradually shift eastwards through the weekend ahead of a cold front and its prefrontal activity, expected to enter the northwest Bahamas on Sunday, and increase rain chances as it advances southeastwards through early next week. Expect a brief cool down and drier conditions behind the frontal system. Tomorrow, Saturday, we're looking at variably cloudy conditions, warm and breezy with the chance of a few passing showers. Again, small craft operators should remain near or in port. Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, variably cloudy, warm and breezy with a few scattered showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms mainly across the northwest Bahamas and portions of the central islands, with gradual clearing by the evening. Partly cloudy and breezy elsewhere with a chance of evening showers. So keep that in mind if you have outdoor plans for the Super Bowl on Sunday. It could be the wettest day of the weekend. But that is your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by First Insurance. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. And time now for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. RBC's mortgage specialist can provide help to dream home a reality. In your real-time traffic at this hour, Prince Charles Drive seeing some heavy traffic at spots, especially near the major intersections like Beatrice Avenue and Soldier Road. In fact, Prince Charles, where it becomes Robinson, looking very busy for you from Soldier straight through to Old Trail and further busy at this hour. Soldier Road seeing a number of issues, especially northbound toward the intersection with Bernard Wolf and Village, and then further south near Old Trail and Windsor Place. And Independence Drive, heavy traffic westbound this morning to the roundabout with Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road busy for you from just above, just north of Carmichael to that roundabout. Further south, Blue Hill and Cowpen looking congested, especially eastbound on Cowpen and eastbound at Cowpen near Faith Avenue as you approach that intersection, looking busy for you as well. Milo Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Rooms Darling Highway, and Gladstone Road also heavy traffic just north of Fire Trail to JFK Drive. Those are your hot spots. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
Technology make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Are you a Bahamian student conducting innovative research in economics, finance, or business that could change the future of the Bahamas? Is your completed work fit for publication? You can win $20,000 from the T. Baswell Donaldson Research Prize for unpublished papers that adhere to the academic standards of formatting and presentation. Submission deadline is April 30th, 2023. For more information, email exr@centralbankbahamas.com or ka.demerit@centralbankbahamas.com.
This could be your golden opportunity. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation has the commercial real estate you need for your dream touristic, manufacturing, or agricultural investment. Build that Airbnb, grow that farm, or manufacture that product. BAIC has the land to empower you to grow. To learn more, visit baic.gov.bs or contact us at 396-3725 or 6.
Welcome to the power of Visa, with access to thousands of travel and shopping and dining discounts with up to $1,500 in savings yearly with Mobile Assist's new prepaid Visa travel rewards cards. Book the cheapest flights, even cheaper than Orbitz and Expedia. Get cash back at participating hotels, car rentals with automatic insurance, and online shopping discounts at U.S. stores like Gap, Best Buy. Your 30-day free trial when you download our Mobile Assist app. Visit Mobile Assist/rewards now for your prepaid Visa travel rewards card.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
So I'm flying back to the island, so let's go. When you're heading big, that drum and calypso. Na-na-na, there's a party going on. Talk on no till the break of dawn. Sweet music, man, it makes everyone lose control. Everybody, here we go, here we go. It's better in the bomb. Everybody, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we got it going on. Everybody, here we go, here we go. It's better in the bomb. And we got it going on. One night till the break of dawn. If
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Stephen Hanna. So we're trying to
I wanted the
change
Daddy
it.
White's one. I wanted the Daddy White's one.
Right. This is we've been talking about this for a couple of years now. We're hoping to get people on board with it, and I think it is gaining some traction. Hopefully there'll be some major announcements soon. But 242 Day. We have a perfect opportunity. We've been saying this for a little while. On the 24th day of the second month, 242, which is coming up February 24th, to really celebrate all things Bahamian in every single way possible. And we're hoping everybody will do that. It falls on a Friday this year. So, from simple things like wearing flag colors.
It was a half day anyway.
Wearing flag colors, eating your favorite food, listening to baby music. Those are the simple things. But there might be some bigger things. Stephen has some ideas as well. Love to hear from you about it. That's only 2 weeks away now, folks. 2 weeks from today, the 24th of February.
It's not like you were doing anything.
Day. I put it out there. I don't want to tell people what to do. Just do. And then Laverne said the same thing yesterday. I mean, I don't believe that. I don't.
You could
believe
not
that.
believe what everyone believes.
But if you have ideas, share them. We want to hear from you what you want to see or what you want to do, what you're encouraging people, are you putting out there. This is what I think everybody should do on February 24th this year and maybe every year. So Stephen had some ideas. We want to hear from you too. So you can call in 323-6232, 325-4316. 39, tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. And this is a great year to get this really rolling as it's the 50th anniversary. But again, we want this to be an annual event, right? And eventually, sure, why not? A holiday. Why not? But anyway, that's a lot. But yeah, so Stephen, you have some ideas. What do you think?
So, okay, let's take it back a little bit. One of the issues is that for any sort of celebration inside this world, you kind of need certain things to happen, right? For people to take it seriously or view it as legitimate. One of those things is, unfortunately, capitalism, all right?
Oh, boy.
Now go with me, Dwight.
Why do you have to say it like that?
No, okay, so let's start from the middle one. The middle one is you need audience participation, all right? There needs to be a thing that people can do to represent this thing, all right? 242 Day, my suggestion is you get people to do 242 of something. All right, now 242 of something sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. All right. For let's say you had somebody with some deep pockets like Dwight or Guardian could agree to buy breakfast. Could agree to buy breakfast for like 242 students of a school close by. All right? That's a good look. That's a good look. Or what if,
But they have 245 students. What are you going to do?
We just don't take a picture of the fifth one. of the last three. The last three, right? But then also you can encourage students to do 242 of something, right?
Good things.
Yeah, good things. Yeah. I mean, clearly not stab 242 people.
Well, why'd you go there?
But I'm saying,
slap 242 people.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right. But instead, maybe you pick up 242 bags of trash or something. Who knows, right? I'm saying things that improve the country, all right? But also, you could create 242 or something, and then you start moving into bigger and larger areas where you have groups, right? Because you have all these civic groups. They're always looking for something to do, all right? Well, what if they donate 242 cans of paint to somebody who needs it, like schools or whatever? Once again, I'm sticking with schools. But also, plant 242 trees. And you're saying, you're inside your mind, like, that's a lot. Is it too much for Rotary to do? I think Rotary could handle that. Let's move away from individuals and small groups and charities and stuff, right? The real way to get things like this to catch on is you need businesses to say, we want to be a part of the celebration. Whether we like it or not, the reason why Christmas is so popular, the reason why Easter is so popular, the reason why Valentine's Day is popular, Mother's Day, all these different things, right, is because there are things for you to purchase that are themed according to these celebrations. So if you had somebody saying, okay, for 242 Day, we're going to change the price. Our burger was $4 every other day of the week, but on this Friday only, $2.42 for this
every
item.
242 Day, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
Every two, yeah.
Matter of fact, if they wanted to, they could say, and only between the hours of 2:42 to 3:42. I'm just saying, if they want to be specific, because they're like
2 to 4.
Or 2 to 4. Yeah, that's even better. Look at that. Look at that.
Right.
All right. And so it's like there's so many different ways that corporate Bahamas can get involved with it. All right. As simple as changing their price momentarily. That's only going to drive business to you because now people will be like, oh, I have to get inside the store. And if you're in the store already, might as well buy something else.
Yeah.
Right? Definitely phone companies should be the main ones in front of this because 242 is an area code. Right? And so literally they could program on the phones.
Sell that iPhone for $242.
But only at this exact moment.
Okay.
All right? Or like literally you have to be at the cash register and of course you wouldn't tell people that. That'd be just like a special surprise. Or maybe you send free minutes or some free data at 2:42 p.m. to all of your subscribers. Who knows, right? There's a million different things. And then of course, so you played Julian Believe's 242 song. But there are tons of songs that are exactly 2 minutes and 42 seconds. But in a weird sort of way. But that's the one that's a little bit more meta. That's a little more meta.
gosh,
So I don't know how many people would be down for that one.
Bizarre.
And then the final thing that you need is you definitely need government participation. Right? And looked at me side-eyed with like 242 trees. That's the perfect thing for environmental health or any of these pseudo-environmental ministries to get on board with. Let's go into mangroves, and we're planting 242 new mangroves. Let's go to Coral Vida and say, how can we sponsor 242 new pieces of coral to be planted on this day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's a million different ways that we could do this thing.
Yeah.
One of the things that personally I'm working with my trainer on, we're doing a little challenge we're working on doing a little challenge. I'll inform you next week.
No, while you were talking, I was thinking about that. Like fitness folks could do 242 burpees or sit-ups or push-ups, any of those.
We decided to do body weight push-ups. It's going to be a challenge to see who could, the weight of your body, not like not the additional weight.
No, I get it.
Right, so it's like, can this person do 242 push-ups for a prize?
Yeah, and film yourself doing that.
No,
record yourself. Not you, but I mean others who are going to maybe do a fitness challenge, 242.
I'm sorry, Jomar.
Okay. Yes, other people, Stephen, because the world's not just about you.
It's all about me.
The world's not just about you, but maybe you want to do 242. That's easy. Jump rope or 242 push-ups.
That's not hard. That's not hard at all.
But for someone, it might be hard to do
the push-ups.
242 of anything. Record yourself doing that. Let's put that out there on 242 Day. Maybe 242 hugs. I don't know. 200.
No, that's how COVID started.
You know the people.
But and then. Once again, like when you think about this in its totality, right? 242 sounds like a lot, but only when it's not really a lot, right? And so now imagine, for example, if you could get a bunch of people to say, I will donate $242 to this charitable cause, right? Then we wouldn't need people on the side of the road begging every Christmas because that's the only time people are giving money. All right? If you could we've agreed to open up this for the, like, there are ways for it to happen. Only thing that needs to interconnect all of them is that in some way it has to move the country forward.
Yeah.
And I think that the best way to move the country forward is education is severely lacking. All right, in terms of funding, in terms of resources. So if you had 242 fans that you wanted to offload because you couldn't sell them, the perfect place to do it would be like, let's donate 242 fans to any one of these government schools that during the summer is unbearable to be in. There's one fan and it has to go between the teacher and 50 students.
Yeah.
242 fans at AF Adley would change lives you would make the children 1 degree smarter at least.
All right.
All right.
So there's a lot of great ideas there, community-minded, and of course we've already talked about the fun things you can do, just showing your Bahamian pride. So many options, but the 242 Day is fast approaching, folks. Let's hear from you. What do you suggest? What are you thinking? Or what do you recommend people do? What are you going to do? 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Getting a few text messages here. Someone says here, I like where Stephen's going with this. How about every Bahamian or resident commuting to, committing to 242 minutes of service in your community between now and July 10th?
That would be, you know what? I like that idea as well, because then it would kickstart the whole idea of independence earlier. And I think for me, a big problem with independence has always been that we don't start celebrating independence till July 1st.
Yeah.
Right? And like that 10 days is not enough to really get the hype out, especially for the people who take a break on July 4th to eat hot dogs and then they come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like we need to start feeling this national pride earlier. Right?
All right. So this person
So I like that idea. 242 of community service.
Yeah. This person says here, see jokes, but anyway, I would drink 2.42 beers on 242 Day.
What are you going to do with the other point?
Oh boy.
5.6, 5.8.
A better idea came in, and this is again going back to business people. They're saying, how about you sell Bahamian, I think they mean, I hope, right? For 242 Days, sell local beers, yes. 2 for $2. That is a great idea.
2 for $2.
2 for $2, I think.
So $1 bears.
But hey, it's 2 for $2.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And you can do a lot of things with that. So sell, maybe.
And here's the thing, Dwight.
Sell, whatever.
We know that everybody is listening right now. All right, all the PR managers all over this country right now listening. I hope you guys are writing this stuff down. Here is an opportunity so that you guys don't have to do all the time. You go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, and you see Bahamian companies saying, today is National Puppy Day, not in the Bahamas. Today is National Cookie Day, not in the Bahamas. That's the different nation's National Day. We have an opportunity for you as an entity to get in front, right? And we own it as a people. All these people calling and talking about, these people taking our things. Here's something on the table that you could 100%, you could own it as a Bahamian.
Yeah. And
are you going to take the opportunity for this to make your life better, to make your business better, to make the country better?
And we're hoping that there will be announcements shortly that it will be added to the calendar of events for the 50th anniversary soon for this year. But in any event, this is something we need to make happen. Bahamian people, 242 Day. Some more messages coming in. Someone says, I love the 242 Day idea. I'm a businesswoman. I will be promoting it in my store. Oh, wonderful. You should tell us which store it is. Tell us so we can patronize.
And what is the product?
Yeah.
Or how are you going to be celebrating in the store? Because and that's another thing. I feel like if you have a legitimate thing, all right?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what it is. This one says, love the ideas, but I really wish someone was selling T42 shirts. Dwight, anyone in mind? Hey, this is what I was saying. Anybody can go and get them made.
Dwight doesn't want to.
That's not what we do. That's not what we do here at Guardian Radio. But take the idea. Go and you make the shirts. You design a T-shirt and put it up for sale. Do this.
Can I tell
right?
them
This
my,
is for
my
you.
person that? Go call Purpose Printing.
But there's so many, and just get them to do it. Whatever it is, 242. Get somebody to make a 242 T-shirt for you. You don't need to turn the NASA Guardian into a store.
You don't have to necessarily sell the shirts, but they're saying if there was at least if you point them in the direction of a person.
Yeah. Okay. So again, tell us what you're thinking and what you're going to do. I wish the texter with the store would call us or text us back. But 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. A lot of people asking about shirts.
That's an easy thing. So this is what I would want for the shirts, though, right? Because I want this thing to not just be like a halfway done thing. I feel like if a shirt company were to say, we're selling 242 shirts for 242 Day, and a portion of the proceeds, maybe 2.42% of the proceeds goes to some sort of charity. Whereas like we see it's not just a money-making scheme, but also we're pouring back into the country. That'd be cool. And I feel like Dwight would be very open, along with you've committed to buying breakfast for 242 students, right, Dwight?
This texter, excellent suggestions. But just for awareness, school will be closed on midterm break for February 24th. Oh, will they? Oh boy. Well, that might even be good. Right?
So they can afford to buy breakfast to them.
They can definitely be out there in their 242 colors and doing things. Families can be doing things, right? So make that, right? You actually kind of have a holiday. Look at that. And you can...
the students do, not the rest of us.
Well, and you the day off.
How's it midterm break already?
Well, that sounds about right.
The year just started.
No. Okay, it's almost March.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so, hey. Okay, a couple more ideas before we go to the break. This one says, I love the concept. Please let us know the concept for 242 Day. I figured out that the 2 is for February. What is the 4-2? No. 24.
The 24th of the second.
24th day of February. Right? 24. In the British way, that's what we're supposed to do it, which is what we're supposed to be doing. Right? The 24th day. Right? So you get it? 242 of the second month. Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm being told that St. John's midterm is now.
So
not all. So some schools will be in.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. One says here, I think all these ideas are great. Last week, Stephen mentioned T-shirts. I think this too is an awesome idea. They are eye-catching and spark curiosity, interest. Why not have a design or logo competition? Hey, that sounds great. Sounds great. Start on 242 Day. Wear your 242 gear. Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of people have a lot already. And wear them all. Wear everything. All is whatever you got. And what does this mean? I don't know what this means. $2 shirts. What? Okay. Whatever it is. But let's keep the ideas coming in, folks. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Super Bowl and who is going to win it on Sunday. We've got our sports team Giants, here as well. You need to stop.
Patriots?
Maybe you should just not talk during this segment coming up. How about that? What are you going to say? The Lakers? Stephen? No. This is...
The Lakers play hockey, right? They don't play basketball.
Oh,
they're the worst team ever. Wow. Take it away, Dwight. Wow.
We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
Whether you're looking for your first or new home or even using your existing home as equity, RBC understands that your journey to home ownership is unique and your mortgage financing should reflect that. That is why at RBC we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
Are you ready to break up with your car? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of us. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your number one fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Valpo Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
Hi, my AC just went out and I need someone to come fix it.
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Okay, what about tomorrow?
We're only open on Thursday. And we're fully booked.
Have anything next week?
No.
Okay, when can you send someone out?
The 22nd is open.
I'll take it.
Of December 2023.
With the best medical cover for your dollar, we're like an AC technician who isn't too busy for you. CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Good like that.
Florida Auto Parts can deliver all the auto parts your car will ever need, direct from the USA and from around the world. Florida Auto Parts provides fast delivery on auto parts, and we ship throughout the Bahamas, genuine or aftermarket, new or used, and all for the best price. Call Florida Auto Parts Trusted Parts Rep on WhatsApp at 1-786-772-8777 to save on your next auto parts purchase. Florida Auto Parts, the right parts at the right price.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
To the world. The Bahamas is big thing. My island is big thing. All over is big thing. The Bahamas is big thing. The Bahamas is big thing. My island is big thing. All over is big thing. The Bahamas is big thing. Now many other countries they ain't lucky like us.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96 Strong, along with Stephen Hammer. Get to the Super Bowl in just a bit. Just this text came in as we went to the break, and this is the text. What's with all the advertisement of an area code? Are we ashamed of calling our country the Bahamas? I don't hear other countries advertising their area code. My goodness, it's only a telephone area code. Texter. We just want something to complain about, right? Is that what it is? Well, just because you don't hear it doesn't mean it's not happening. And many areas are very proud of their area codes. We had Stephen reminded me, a whole rap song a few years ago called Area Codes. But everywhere you hear people talking about it. 305, I told the story when this is where I got the idea for 242 Day, because they have a 305 Day. Pitbull is a big part of it in Miami-Dade. And 3 being March and 5th over there. But everywhere people are, that's how you know it's the place that only you have that area code. Nobody else has it. It's not a problem. I don't know why you think it's a problem. We need more national pride in this country because we have text messages like that coming in every day. And earlier in the show, you heard that. People were just looking for a fight for any reason. Now, we're on edge and we have a problem.
Also,
we have a problem.
Also, the idea that you would try to prove you'd rather fight against something than build something up, right? Because people keep saying, oh, these people are trying to take this and that from us or whatever, right? But now somebody's like, okay, well, here's a thing for us to celebrate over here. And crickets.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand.
Well, not crickets. There are people who are calling in and responding.
There is crickets, definitely. And we have that type of text. And this one I intentionally didn't read, but I'm going to read it because something is going on in this place. This is very serious. The first text that we got about this when we started talking about it this morning, the texter, I really want to read your number on the air so people can hear, said, hug a Haitian for 242 Day. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, go and do it. But what are you trying to say? What's your problem? And you can imagine, the first thing that went to my mind reading this is I could see somebody in the South, in the U.S., in the 40s or 50s, sending stupid messages like this.
Yeah.
Right? About you know what?
Black people.
Yeah.
I don't know why you said you know what.
I mean,
but
I mean, you could see it, and there would be a joke and laughing, everybody laughing at it.
it's
Yeah.
not even that you could see it.
And maybe
Dwight.
we should say it the way they would say it, right? They
Dude,
would say, yeah,
and-
on 242. Yeah, that's
Dwight-
exactly how they would say it. That's how you sound, Texter.
Dwight, you've been
You're
accused
insane.
of being a Haitian lover.
Every day.
I've been accused of being a Haitian sympathizer. They're literally taking words directly out of racist handbooks.
Yeah, it's really bad.
The only thing we're missing is a bear hall. That's all we're missing. We are in the perfect, and everybody needs to pay attention to this 100% because it is going to get out of control.
We're on the edge of a cliff.
Right, because
We're very close.
we are 100% in 1930s Germany.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
We have inflation that is rampant. We have a person who people are like, oh, I like what this person is saying. He's not afraid to say it. And we have people who are very angry because they feel like their money isn't going far enough. And they're looking at this group of people.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be complaining and suffering, so they must have it better than us. They're taking advantage. How come they're not? We're the ones suffering, and this is our country, and our blood is richer than their blood. We are 100%. And the only difference is, at least Germany produces cars. We don't do nothing except for tourism.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right,
so these are the reasons why we need to
Get it together.
promote as many days that will call for national pride as possible. And this is just one, right? Another crazy text here, why not Bahamian Flag Day? Yeah, that's what we could, sure, why not? And do it on 242 Day. Absolutely. Why not? We don't have one.
Every day could be Bahamian Flag
we
Day.
could have
But
it.
some
That could
persons
be.
only want a flag on July 10th. What the caller who said between
Oh my God!
between February
Okay,
24th.
I'm going to walk out of the room now.
1 second. The caller who said
The
between the
people are getting
24th
crazy.
and July 10th.
This is insane.
We need to do 242 hours of
Oh,
community
God.
service.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
They're-
This person
they're-
says, why do you have to copy the Miami area code thing? Can't find by ERCOP with what I want to tell you, Texter. But anyway, happy independence to you. Okay. Hey, Super Bowl, United States, football, wonderful stuff. We've got Sheldon Longley and Simba French from the Guardian Sports team with us this morning. Guys, great to have you with us. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. It's great to be on.
Simba, can you hear us? Are you there? Is he muted?
I
There we
can
go.
sadly hear you.
Okay, all right. Great to have you with us.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, so
I was thinking a little bit about that 242 day thing you got going on. You know what would really be cool? Next year, 24224.
Explain it. What?
No, because it'll be the 24th.
2024.
Oh, hey, there you go. Yeah, that'll be.
I mean, you could start the planning
Oh,
from now,
absolutely.
and that could be a mega
Absolutely.
celebration day next year.
Yeah,
That could be somewhat like a mini independence next
Yeah,
year.
that one's going to be big. That one is going to be big.
Bigger than the 50th, Dwight?
We'll see how the 50th goes with the way these text messages are going. I'm worried, very worried. All right, let's talk about football. So I'm being told that because I announced the Chiefs, that's why the text messages have gone crazy. So am I in the minority here? Is everybody an Eagle fan?
I think the majority of people are going with the Chiefs. You know, I myself picked the Chiefs to win, but I'm a little skeptical about that because the Chiefs are banged up. You know, Mahomes has that high ankle sprain that he's dealing with. They have about 2 or 3 of their wide receivers who were hurt in the AFC Championship game. You know, and I think a couple of their defenders are hurt as well. So they're a little banged up. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I think if completely healthy, you know, I think they would win because of Patrick Mahomes. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. You know, the Eagles, to me, have a more complete team. But Mahomes is the X factor.
Yeah.
You know, he can do special things on the field. So if completely healthy, I think the Chiefs would win, and that's the reason why I picked them. But they're not healthy, so it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Simple French, what say you on this?
Eagles. Chiefs.
Which one is it?
Chiefs.
To win?
I went with the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes. That's one reason why. That's the only reason why I went with Chiefs. Mahomes. Because I just feel he could. His game is just so complete. He could use anybody, I guess, to a total, and make it a game.
Yep. All right. So we want to hear from the audience as well. Text us who you're pulling for and who you think is going to win. So text us 422-4796. We'll read these. throughout the rest of the morning. But let's hear what you say. So I have an idea. If I can make it to the fall with, it's going to be tough. But I want to do something very dramatic for next season. I want to see how good. I don't know how to put it because it's really like sorcery. But I want to see who can pick the teams who will be in the next Super Bowl from the start of the season. So from September, and have a big competition. If you can accurately predict the two teams who are going to be in the Super Bowl, and we put you in a box, and if you have multiple winners, we have
will
some
you give them,
amazing. We can work on it from now, but I'm talking amazing prizes. And then, if you get the two, you could win a prize, and if you get the team that actually wins, you get another prize, right? And I want to see how.
Well,
that
I can tell
goes.
you now, probably about 75% of the fan base is going to pick the Dolphins.
Why would they want to win? So they don't want to win.
I don't eliminate them. Including
would do
myself.
that. Yeah, really. All right, let's take this call really quickly before we run out of time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Who are you pulling for?
I'm pulling. Hello.
Hi.
Morning.
Oh, I'm pulling for Eagles.
The Eagles. Yeah. Why?
Reason being, they are the best. They are the best defense in this year, and the quarterback, he is more healthy than Kansas City quarterback.
Than Mahomes. Okay. All right, I hear you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. This text here, I predict it won't be Miami. Well, right. All right.
Captain Obvious.
So, hey, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I know you guys will be watching, and we'll see what happens Monday morning to hear what everybody has to say about it. But thank you all for being here. And Sheldon, you're going to be on a little bit later with Aaron Green, I believe, on the clock. So that's great. Simple French, thank you so much. And sadly, we're going to end this hour on a very sour note with this text here. Everybody brace yourselves for this. This is amazing.
No.
We've got something's wrong. Something is wrong. Something is very wrong. And we need 242 day and every single thing we can find more than ever before.
You need a mental health day.
Yeah, or year, maybe year. The person says,
year.
Bahamians' blood run the same as everyone else, but it seems like foreigners are more important. Foreigners use our country's resources for free, take advantage and discard us. Like garbage haters. There's not. If we Bahamians feel betrayed by the government and social media, illegals have more rights. So y'all continue talking about Super Bowl and millionaires running around playing games while our country goes to hell. Boy, oh boy. Okay.
How do you do it, sir?
Let's take a quick break. Sheldon, Simple, thank you again.
Anytime.
When we come back, Morning Blend Business, we're going to be our monthly Safe and Sound series. We're talking about crime, what's working, what's not, and why. That's after the break. Stay with us.
My island is big ting, all over is big ting. The Bahamas is big ting, the Bahamas is big ting. My island is big ting, all over is big ting. The Bahamas is big ting. Now many other countries.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, yeah. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, December 10th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. And this morning it is time for our Safe and Sound series every month here on Morning Blend Business. This morning we are talking about crime and why. Gamal Nuri with Preventative Measures is with us. I think, is this the first time you've been with us? No, right? What month is this? February?
February, yes. First time I've been here. Happy New Year, Dwight.
Happy New Year. Hey. Okay. Boy, great to have you with us as always.
It's good to be here. Good morning again. Good morning, Bahamas. Looking forward to...
I think we did January. Didn't we do
January? We did January, yes.
Okay.
We did January, yeah.
Oh, but you were on Zoom.
I was on Zoom,
yes,
correct.
That's right. Okay.
Correct.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
all right, so as we have this conversation, we are... on a day that we learned that a man has been arrested in connection with the death threats of the Prime Minister.
Correct.
There's a report that says that we are 8th in the murder rate in the region per capita. And first is Turks and Caicos, and we know the Bahamas connection there.
Right.
So I don't know if we can really...
Just,
boy.
Throw a rock, eh?
Yeah. So, and anyway, but we have a big problem. We have a
problem with crime, and I think that we have to appreciate the two different the types of crimes that are impacting us. We see daily in the paper, we see the headlines where there's murder or some violent events, threats against our leader. I'm saying that as he is the Prime Minister of the country. You're not getting caught up in personality.
Right.
He is the Prime Minister. We have a problem, and as I heard this story developing over the last few days, I was reminded that when at one point the same individual was acting Prime Minister, he actually was robbed. Mm-hmm. He had a home invasion. I don't know if you recall that.
Yes, absolutely.
A few years ago. So we have to appreciate where we are from a crime perspective, and the violent incidents and how we're going to develop. What are we doing? The question is, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And why aren't we taking the necessary corrective action? Is there a will to get it corrected? You have to ask yourself that sometimes, because some little things can be changed and can be, fixed. But those things are left undone, and then we see this escalation. This. Where things increase because you didn't address the little issue. So certainly we have to look at where we are, what are we doing as a nation, certainly the various groups that are responsible directly, but also as citizens who have a responsibility as well.
And you are quite qualified to have this conversation with. Let's tell people about that. You're a former police officer, is that right?
I am actually a reserve officer.
You still are? Okay.
I'm still with the Royal Bahamas Police Force as a reserve assistant superintendent.
Wow.
Let me state now that I am not speaking on behalf of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. So it's kindly thrown at me, not the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I'm not representing the Royal Bahamas Police Force with my commentary. But certainly I have that experience. I've been involved in law enforcement and security now about 35 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I've been here and done some stuff.
Yeah. And remind folks about preventative measures.
Yes, certainly. Well, preventative measures came out of that love and passion for providing protection strategies, training for individuals. So preventative measures has grown now to where we provide a full gambit of security and safety measures, ranging from cyber initiatives to physical security to helping you to design and manage a program, risk assessments. We do stuff locally and internationally. So certainly we are very much involved in the asset protection and loss prevention industry.
Okay. All right. So again, the topic today is crime, what's working, what's not, and why. Right. Some people are going to be listening to this and say, what's working? Is anything working? Yeah. But let's talk about that. Is anything working?
Certainly. I mean, we'll have to say that some things are working. We have to, and you have to appreciate that so you could know where to go from that. So what's working? You're looking at the fact that individuals are aware, and I think that's the beginning. People are aware and they're doing things. They're improving their own personal security measures. You can go and you can ask certainly any guard service provider or a electronic security provider who is providing cameras and alarm systems. Certainly business is good. So you see.
Oh no, well, people are going to say that's a sign that things are bad because I have to go and step up security. I have to do all these things.
I'm taking action to ensure my safety because that's a responsibility. I'm not leaving it to chance. I'm taking preventative measures to protect my assets. That's important. And with those types of technologies, they now enhance and make my work environment, my home environment a safer place to be. So where you may measure it and say, it's a negative thing, but no, it's also a positive thing because we are taking action. We are looking and seeing, hey, what am I doing wrong? And I'm taking steps to correct those actions. I think to take it for granted that nothing's going to happen, I think that adds to the problem where we're naive and we assume that certain things are not it's not going to happen to me.
Right.
So I'm not going to lock the door. It's not going to happen to me, so I'm going to walk around and I'm going to flash cash. No, I take steps to make sure that I'm in a safe environment and I conduct myself in such a manner.
So awareness is a sign that things are.
Awareness is a sign of things are working. People are aware, right? And also certainly when you look at businesses who are taking these types of steps and reducing their exposure. So some organizations are reducing their exposure by taking certain steps to minimize their loss incidents. Yeah.
Okay. Other signs that things are working. What can you point to? And especially from the police stance. What can you say there?
Well, certainly with the police, we see the police in the last few years, I would say you've seen an increase in public service announcements, right? Where they're again taking initiative and keeping persons aware. So the police are taking some actions. They have a very massive campaign. They also do things as it relates to the school safety. They are involved in the community activities. So the police actions are minimizing and reducing these incidents, right? And it's important, right? Things we measure crime or we measure safety by what we can see. And it's important to appreciate that there are a lot of things that we can't see because if it's not happening, it becomes very difficult to measure something if it's not occurring. And so the assumption is because it's occurring, then it's necessarily a bad thing. And we can lend to that argument, right? But also the fact that we can still occupy spaces. People can still go out and walk in our communities and do exercises. People can still socialize. So it's not good, but I would really put to the argument, well, if it's so bad as we hear ringing, right, then can you go to a Goodman's Bay at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and you watch the activity on the beaches? People are still out there. Right. When you go to a social event on the weekend or to the movie theater, people are still coming out. All right. So it's not as bad as we perceive it to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's very, very key. All right. So I think this part is easy. What's not? And from your perspective, what do you see as not working right now?
What is the biggest? If we were to go to let's start with the citizenry. I'll go back, right? Because we can throw rocks at the police, and certainly we're going to hit something, right? However, the citizenry on the flip side is extremely supportive of deviance. It's unfortunate when you go into a community and you see that young kids, for example, and I'm not even talking about what we would classify as crime, right? But when you see young kids who are out and about, not supervised, right? When we see individuals who are going to the courts, for example, and again, it's not criminal, but I'm coming there to support a family member or saying that this individual is innocent, so to speak, right? And supporting their criminal behavior. And, so you have to appreciate what are we as a society condoning as good behavior.
Prepared to fight folks on the
Exactly.
On the
and
other
I
side.
appreciate the emotions involved, right? Because we want to protect our loved ones, but we're endorsing criminality. We're endorsing bad behavior. And that is what needs to be checked, I think, more so than anything else. The police can only do so much, right? Security consultants like myself, and we can only do so much. But if there is a culture of entitlism, a culture of supporting deviant behavior, then that's what really needs to be checked. And that's the biggest wrong, because we can put policies in place, we can implement laws, we can give the police cars, we can do all these things, we can put up a fence, we can buy a camera system. But if that deviant behavior, if I'm prepared to purchase a camera or a television or a car knowing that it didn't come to a legitimate source, then that's a major problem that's happening.
You said the word culture. I mean, we didn't get here overnight, and it's going to take a long time to reverse that attitude. What do we do in the meantime?
Exactly. And going back to that same point, when I hear of the incidents of violence with juveniles, right, with these young men in particular, right, and I hear, well, we need to implement this law or do this thing or that thing, and I say, well, let's go back and see what's causing this to happen, and let's try to catch these young kids before when you see them lying in school or not showing up for school or being late or being rude, that's the beginning of armed robbery. That's the beginning of the murder right there. If we were to take a murder, right, and I'm saying someone who has a violent lifestyle at 17, and we were to backtrack and see what was going on at 3 years old, that's where we need to catch these young kids. Not at 17 when we're putting them behind bars and asking for a bigger prison. Asking for more police. Why are we not asking for improvements or enhancements to our youth ministry, our sports ministries, right? Where we're going to take these kids and get them down a path that gives them an understanding for rules. Not that they're going to be the Super Bowl star, right? Not that they're going to make the Super Bowl, but they understand that, hey, there are rules, there are regulations, and there are penalties if you breach the rules. That's a life lesson that I can take from a football, from a baseball, from a soccer, from a judo. I got to mention martial arts. I probably get kicked out of certain groups, right? But taking from these disciplines that educate that young person, hey, that there are rules. There's a way, there's an order of way things are done. And when I breach those, then there are penalties and there's a risk of loss.
Yeah. All right, so there are going to be folks who are saying, well, folks are supportive of the deviant behaviors for a number of reasons, some of them being economic, and they can't afford to purchase something through legitimate channels, and so they've got to find a more affordable way. But when the police, and of course the police must know about this, that there is a ring here, people are getting cheap parts from this place, or they're bold enough to advertise on Facebook that they have this phone for $20 and it's $200 or whatever. Why does it seem, I don't know if it's not happening, why does it seem like the police are doing enough to crack down on those who are facilitating or are part of these underground operations?
And to that point, in the first instance, the assumption that the police knows, right? It's an assumption. The police go on information, right? The police goes on that report of the theft. So I'm selling a phone for $20 online, right? Let's use that scenario, right? Was there a report of a stolen phone? So you come to me as a legitimate phone owner who decides that I just want to sell my phone for $20. I mean, what's the crime in that? Now, if there's information that supports what you're saying, and I'm just trying to build towards that, because I'm not negating that it exists, but I want people to appreciate, the police know, but did you tell the police? You just a few moments ago, you had the Crime Stoppers commercial that aired, right? Why isn't that thing just being blown up every day? Why is it being blown up every day? Why isn't it being blown up? Why do you have to reward somebody, for giving information about somebody getting killed or somebody stealing from another person? Why do we have to reward that person? Okay. So again, I'm going back to culture. So the police take action. We're encouraging the police to take certain action on certain things. But where is the information coming from? Where is the support and the information being passed on to the police to say, hey, there's criminal activity in my neighborhood? Now, I'm setting the stage for that. However, if there is a guy sitting on your block playing loud music, right, and they're disturbing quote-unquote peace, right, That is an issue. However, if there's a report of an armed robbery, which one do you think the police are going to go to? Okay? The police are going to go to the armed robbery because that's going to take priority. Then, not that your issue is not important. It's just a matter of society. What is more life, what is going to be a challenge or be a risk to the loss of life or property? So now I'm sitting here calling the police about loud music, right? I'm annoyed because I'm trying to sleep, right? But the police are responding to an armed robber or to an attempted murder or to some other major incident. So again, we have to appreciate how do we line up those things, setting the stage. Again, security service providers, they are definitely a force multiplier. So again, from a national perspective, why isn't government, or government should now ensure that security service providers who are manning private entities, and in some instances public entities, are trained and equipped to manage these small matters so that the police can now be freed up to manage the bigger matters. But if the police are trying to run from a small fire to a big fire to a small fire to a big fire, it's overwhelming. And we saw that again, which happened, I think now it's been about 15 years now, right? Where there was a call out for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to now enhance and supplement police manpower. I'm amazed that it's still in play. I'm amazed that we celebrate that the Royal Bahamas Defense Force is doing crowd control at Junkanoo. This speaks to certainly some things are not being properly done, that some things are not being, skill sets and competency not being properly utilized to address issues that are specific to that entity's skill set. All right, so I'm trying to paint the picture.
I've never heard anybody bring up the security companies should be hired to assist. So
of course, because it's if you look at and in other jurisdictions, right, security companies who are brought up to standard. In Jamaica, prime example, right, right across the pond, so to speak, right, to the U.S., right. Security companies, their skill sets, their qualifications, their competency and stuff, the bar has been raised. So now they can supplement and put the police in more or areas that the police can address. Okay, so all of these things we have to look at if we're gonna address what's right, what's going wrong, and that's why I started from the very. You as an individual have to report it to the police, but appreciate. Hey, we're going from a small incident to a big incident. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah,
Now
that's really interesting that you brought that up because a lot of people. Things happen to the vehicles, batteries are stolen, bumpers are ripped off and stolen. They won't report it to the police. I'm hearing more and more people say, what are they going to do? And I think perhaps this is back to the story about the noise, the person making noise, and the police didn't show up because they might have been called to a murder, but they get the perception the police won't respond to something small like this. And then we start this horrible tailspin out of control there.
And to that point, right? And I'm glad we were talking about this because the legislation is there, which we have what was called local constables, district constables. Okay, we have reserves. We are members of the public, volunteer, and for a lack of are deputized to take certain actions on certain matters. Okay, but if you are gonna eliminate those different tiers, don't forget now. Our police force is a national police force. It's not a Miami or Metro-Dade or New York City police force, right? Our police force is navigating everything from a threat on the prime minister to somebody breaking your car glass or somebody playing loud music. That's a big scope, That's a huge scope. And when you stretch that from Grand Bahama in the north, or Abaco, for those who, depending on how you cut it, right, to Naugua, right? That's a huge scope to address all of those matters. We saw, I think it was last week or week before last, where the commissioner came and gave his crime report, and I'm wondering if people really appreciate those numbers and the scope of work that the police are involved in. It's a lot. Now they may not say it, okay? They may not say it. But it's a lot of work, and it's such a variance in work. Don't forget, they're dealing with cyber issues, right? They're dealing with violence and crimes against the person, so murders, right? They're dealing with armed robbery rings, but they're also dealing with mind these guys playing loud music in my yard, right? They're also dealing with domestic
the
matters.
cat in the tree thing too.
Well, if the cat is if your cat is in my tree, eh?
Yeah.
So we have
boy.
to appreciate that and try to find ways on how we can sort of supplement them
Yeah.
effectively. They can address things in a more holistic way.
Yeah.
Again, the citizen has a responsibility. Why isn't, and I go back to the point I made, why isn't Crime Stoppers, why they continue to be, seem to be so under supported, or, why is that happening?
I think you gave me an idea for one of our future topics, whether we need to, I don't know, lack of a better word, break up the police force. Do we need to, because you mentioned, should it be only this unit is responsible for this type of crime in this area, but you have something like an FBI for murders only. I know we do have the criminal investigative department, but maybe it needs to be like that.
Well, if you're talking about a tiered approach, right? That's something for consideration. However, it still goes back to the community level. You still, at the end of the day, still need to pool those resources, because the information you're getting from what you're getting from at the street level, from them what we perceive to be minor things. These guys are just making noise, or these guys are sitting on the block. They're not troubling anybody, right? But as people pass, they are making comments. They're perhaps asking people for money. So these little things at the street level, right? How does that filter up to the hierarchy?
Yeah.
The that are breaking up. When you the problem, I think the issue that needs to be corrected is the proper reporting of. So all of these things still filter into the same pool.
Right.
You had that issue. I always use 9/11 as a very such a interesting case study, right? Outside of the security issues involved, the U.S. recognized, the United States government recognized that they had the FBI, the CIA, they had all of these different A's, right? But they weren't speaking to each other. They're protecting the same country,
right?
Okay, the same, but they're not. This is how those terrorists were able to circumvent, because they realized that there were these gaps in communication. Then from 9/11 came Homeland Security. That never existed before 9/11.
Yeah.
Okay, but because hey, we need to make sure that you can still do your thing in your corner. But we need to communicate.
Right.
We need to communicate this information.
Yeah, we see that on the movies all the time, right? This is my scene, get it right.
Exactly.
You don't need that around here.
Of course not. Yeah.
All right, let's take some calls, and we got some messages coming in, and we're having a great conversation with Gamal Nuri about crime, what's working and what's not. 323-6232, 325-46. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Is this caller still here? You've been on hold for a little bit. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you still there? Yeah. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Morning, Dwight Mandel Miller here.
Hi.
I'm the outreach officer at the Bahamas National Drug Council, and it's Dwight, it's a breath of fresh air this morning to hear you and this gentleman dissect the issues of crime to the extent that y'all have. It is a breath of fresh air. And one of the things that really stood out to me, and I was wondering at what point in time that somewhere we'll touch this, when he talked about the culture of crime in our country. Right? We can put boots on the ground, we can get the U.S., Ukraine, Russia, and everybody to give us aid. But if we don't address our unique culture and approach towards crime, don't care how much boots on the ground and how much more, nothing will change. It will create a warlike environment that we live in. The only objection I had or thing that I disagreed with him with was the fear index as it pertains to crime. Last night, I stood in my shower at about 1 o'clock a.m., and the amount of gunshots I'm hearing off of the Tony Garland Highway area, I am in my shower literally terrified. So I don't see how is it that we as a people seem to just be moving about as business as usual with the level of violence that's surrounding us, understanding that violence is contagious from a public health standpoint. And so that part I have my own opinion on, but then on the side of addressing the culture of crime in our country, you guys did a phenomenal job on it. Just this week, I think, in the court systems, an 80-year-old grandmother would have been found guilty for, again, doing the very same thing you guys are talking about, which is aiding this defiant behavior as it relates to the elements of crime in our home. We keep saying that it's the government and it's the police and it's this. No, It's the Grammys, the aunties, the uncles, the mummies, and the daddies. What made a difference for me, Dwight, was when I once stood in court and heard the magistrate say, even his mother doesn't want him to have bail. We have to get there in our country if we are truly going to resolve this matter of crime in our country. This is much deeper than meets the eye. Thank you guys for a very informative conversation, Dwight, and look forward to possibly being a part of some of these conversations on behalf of the Bahamas National Drug Council and the work that we do in the school systems with our kids. We have a major problem in our country, and we must address it adequately versus just responding in knee-jerk reactions to beefing up the police force.
Mandel, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree with the gentleman wholeheartedly, and it's always good to get these different perspectives. And what he said was right on point, and that it is a concern. It is a concern, and we cannot knee jerk this.
Yeah.
When I sit down, donation from this entity or this government, and we're going to do this, and then we look at, okay, what about what you said was going to happen last year? What about what you did 5 years ago? So we get these resources, we put them out there, but we're not being held accountable as agencies. And certainly as individuals as to, hey, what did you do with those resources?
Yeah. We've got a lot of messages coming in and more calls. This is Morning Blend Business. It's our Safe and Sound series. We're going to be back in just a bit. Stay with us.
Interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
At Doctors Hospital, just got brighter. The Loyalty Advantage membership program now has 3 unique plans to choose from. From LAMP Prepaid with free prime care visits and service line discounts, LAMP Insured with copay waivers and 0 upfront collections at the ER and inpatient services, or our new LAMP Access, a free plan that offers 10% off labs, pharmacy, and imaging. LAMP has a plan for everyone. To sign up, visit our website or give us a call. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now.
Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Already get the first set of knowledge. Now it's time to prepare you for college. You're thinking so much you got to do. Legacy will handle that for you.
Looking for a college connection that's thorough, supportive, and proactive? Get on board with Legacy College Readiness and Tours today. My name is Whitley Cargill. I am a student who benefited from Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Erica Morris, the president of Legacy College Readiness and Tours, ensures that you have a great ride through a program. You will receive unprecedented access to college information, college campuses, and college advisement based on where you want to go and what you're looking for. Expand your knowledge and your experience. It's tailored to you. Look forward to Legacy College Readiness and Tours. Get on board today. Contact us at 242-809-5278 or email us at legacycollegetours@gmail.com today.
With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to women officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
I could live
Welcome back to Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. It's our Safe and Sound series. We've got Kamal Nuri with Preventative Measures. I'm Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna.
That's me.
We are talking about crime, what's working, what's not, and why. Let's get through these calls and we'll pick up the conversation. We've got a lot of text messages as well. But caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Dwight, guest.
Kamal Nuri.
Kamal Nuri, this is John Bennett. You and I are on the same accord. I called to give you support.
Yes, sir.
I made an appointment last week to see the Commissioner of Police. I wanted to speak to him about a private, public, or police private security relationship, whereas officers who are security officers can get proper training in some sort of form, the way the police reservists are trained, so they can have like some power of arrest and have more respect, and to be able to at least sometimes when they're on patrol at nights, have a reservist working along with them to make sure they're properly trained and to ensure that they're able to also assist with this crime fighting. Because oftentimes, and this comes mostly from, I'm in the Vinton group, the crime was Vinton group, oftentimes people complain, the residents of Vinton complain, that they'll call the police and there's no patrol car available for them to come to the scene of any incident that's going on. So we have the security officers who do patrol also for certain communities. If they're able to assist the police by going, they may just be trained how to, stabilize an area until such time as the police gets there. So I think that's an excellent idea. It's something I've been trying to push. I just didn't get a meeting with him yet. And I believe the best thing for me to do is maybe you and I could get together and speak to the National Security Minister, because, governments like to take credit for these things. That's why I didn't want to go on air like how you did and talk it, because they'll make it seem as though it's your idea or my idea, and then you do it just because it didn't come from them. So I really wanted to speak to the Commissioner of Police first, and then get advice on how best to address it with the National Security Minister. Politicians don't like for people in civil society to make recommendations. They feel as though that they put in everything.
Okay.
So you have an excellent idea. You can call me. I'm not Elite Security. You can call me anytime you wish. And I think you and I can collaborate on this together and see if we can get the police department to buy into what you're saying. I just wanted to give you support.
Okay.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Okay. John, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Interesting. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Officer Nuri. How you doing?
Gamal Nuri with Preventative Measures. Hey, I'm well.
I welcome you to Glad you well. Officer, and right. Officer, I appreciate you protecting the bunker 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning while they watching Netflix. I know I ain't good at my officers. I hear the siren, that means they protecting me. So I got a good time watching Netflix. Well, on a more serious note, right? You know, Officer Nuri, the biggest drop in crime.
He's not an officer. No,
I'm not representing the Roy Bahamas.
No. What's you, Nuri, right?
Yeah, I'm a Nuri, yes.
No, you was an officer.
Yeah,
right?
But he's not.
I know, right? But he's still my officer.
Well,
they say officer level of duty.
Oh, okay.
I think you think of a priest.
Well, even that, especially anyway. Okay, but anyway, go on, Pumpkin Eater.
But you know, what the biggest drop will be local government. I will put my whole bank account on the line that local government for New Providence will be the biggest drop in crime, because the community will now be monitoring the area, protecting the area, and releasing the little boys on the little girls in a timely fashion. I don't know why the politician might be scared of the local government drive, but local government is needed in the large population of New Providence.
Okay. Thank you very much. I mean, nobody speaks more about local government than I do, but I'm not too sure about that one when it comes to crime.
Yeah, definitely. But to the point, I'm glad he got to. I actually support that 100%. I think that because certain things like crime in particular seem so disconnected, or the ability to get involved seems so disconnected, right, from the actual stakeholders in that community, that yes, that could be an avenue where through a formalized community, and mind you, there's a national, community policing initiative, things of that sort, right? So where you have these different communities that have crime watches or crime prevention groups that are out there doing patrols, who actually take ownership of the crime in the area. And we're all familiar. I think the areas, is it not Vinton, off of Village Road, the community just north of Village Road. Isn't Vinton?
Blair.
Blair. Yes. Sorry, why am I saying Vinton? And there's also another very strong group in the Fox Hill community, right? So these are a part of the National Crime Prevention initiatives, right? They're community-minded persons. They're out there as citizens and they're on patrol.
Yeah.
So certainly I agree with that comment that certainly is an avenue to improve upon ownership. Why? I'm calling the police, but the police doesn't live there.
Right.
The police, and that's a serious psychological thing. I promise you, boy, I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to get rocks thrown at me, but it is what it is, right? If the incident is happening at a street or a residence where that officer lives,
You're different. You know it.
Because it's ownership, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that, Steve, right? Right? But that's ownership.
Oh, boy.
I'm a part of that. That impacts me. So you take that same energy, and if I'm at home and and my community comes together, and we say, hey guys, we're gonna do between certain hours, we're gonna get various members of our community. We're gonna do a drive around. We're gonna drive the streets right in our community.
Yeah.
And our role, going back to Mr. Pinder's point, right? Our role is not to intercept the suspected criminal element. It's again to advise the police. It's to document, share that information with the police, because the police may not be able to get there during the time the vehicle is there, but that vehicle knows it's been documented, or there is documentation, and we share that with the police. So certainly it's tiers. It isn't a one magic bullet that's going to fix the problem. It's multiple things that have to happen during, which is from an operational standpoint.
Yeah.
Certainly we have to catch these young kids from when that's a true prevention thing. Okay. And then we look at, penalties. Do we always need to send these kids to the what is happening at the boys' industrial school or the girls' industrial school? Maybe we need to take some of those types of penalties and change the application. Community service.
Right. It doesn't need to be punitive all the time.
Exactly.
Most of these things, particularly people will frown on restorative justice for adults, but definitely for children, it should be restorative justice that we aim for. Whereas not only, transformative justice, right? So not only do they need to sit down with the victim's family, so they can understand what exactly you did, why it was wrong, what the effect of it was, but also how can I make restitution? How can I make this right? As opposed to just saying, oh, you're a bad boy, you won't be inside this box for the rest of your life.
Right.
So like that, and my initial question is going to be, to what extent are we dealing with crime prevention versus crime response? Because for the most part, policing is crime response, right? And so what we need is something, I hear you saying like a different branch, and you're right, and especially when you say true crime prevention, dealing with children and stuff. Maybe it comes from a different agency altogether, or it comes from with the police force in conjunction with them, because they'll know this is the trouble spot over there. We got to get at the front of it.
I'll give you a true crime prevention ministry that's in play right now.
Go ahead.
Ministry of Youth and Sports. True crime prevention initiative right now is the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
And culture.
And culture, right? That's true crime prevention, because there's nothing like sports.
Yeah.
There's certainly culture, or these things, they add value to the individual's lives. They add value to the individual, to the country, because now I appreciate that, hey, this is my home. So and this is about changing culture, right?
Exactly.
So
it all goes back to the culture.
So crime prevention, mind you, the police has a role to play, and we will never negate that. But the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Ministry of Education, these are crime prevention groups that we're not seeing or driving the full potential.
And as much as people who condemned it at the time, urban renewal, particularly the bans and stuff, those things had a real impact inside the communities, because like on Saturdays, young people inside these communities, their parents would drive them there, they'd send them to urban renewal ban, and people say, oh, y'all have these people doing this, but like that really had an impact.
And I agree with you, but I don't think it should have been something driven by the police.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
maybe it needs to be somebody else who takes over it.
And we have these things already in play. We have, again, I have to mention Boys Brigade. I'm a Brigader for life. Okay? And Boys Brigade, the Boy Scouts, the Pathfinders, and all these other youth groups that are out there, that have been there, that have set the bedrocks of society, right? We move away from them, right? And we don't appreciate what they did. The transformative justice, as was mentioned, right? This is what you're doing. So if I'm a bad kid in school, right? Yeah, you're gonna deal with me in the immediacy, but now you assign me to a youth group or a sports group or a band.
You gotta show up.
I gotta show up. I gotta account. And now that's taking my time, what I would have probably been doing sitting on the blocks. But you're building me into a better Bahamian.
And then add to that, if you could show persons a way out,
Yes.
because here's the thing, a lot about the immediate, right? And so I try to figure out how to get the next dollar where I'm getting food from, right? But if you could show persons, hey, if you stick on this path, at the very least, I could promise you that you could be making $40,000 a year 4 years from now, right? Because that's the promise that college giving most people, right?
Right,
So
right.
if you stick on this path, you'll get a job at this amount, right? If you could promise your kids, if you stick with this baseball program, I will get you in front of a scout. And even if you only go to the minor leagues, you're still making $60,000, $80,000 a year. You're still getting to live a decent life. You are now making 10 times what your parents are making now because they're only making $6,000 a year with odd jobs here and there.
It has to be goal orientated. It can't just be, okay, we're gonna spank you on your hands and send you back into that same situation that caused you to do it again.
You just make it
You're gonna
better
get
criminals.
smarter. You're gonna make me smarter, and I say, this time I'm not gonna get catch.
Right.
Or or I'm gonna eliminate the witnesses. I mean, this is what we're building, and we see it. We see it when we hear that the person is known to the police. And then we see people going on bail and there's retribution because that's the culture we have created. We've created this.
Yeah. All right, running out of time. I just want to take this call really quickly and then get to these messages. A lot of great messages here. Good morning, caller on the air.
Quality is dark and white. We need justice, law, and order in this country. Mr. Newey, you making this thing sound so simple, but in the neighborhoods, there are a bunch of foreign children. Some came here, some born here, their parents illegal, and it's a bunch of them, and they causing a problem also. They have their parents and stuff with cooking food in the house and selling it and throwing the food all over the yard. It's causing rodents. It's a terrible thing in this neighborhood in which you know not of.
Okay. Hey, thank you for the call. This is text here. Our systems are failing us. I witnessed an accident yesterday at the intersection of Soldier and Robinson Road between a motorcycle and an SUV. Both operators ran the red light at high speed. Both. And how is it possible that so many drivers feel so comfortable running red lights? Where are the enforcers?
Yeah. So again, we go back to the initial question: what's working, what's not working, right? I'll have to harp back to technology, right? There's technology that's been deployed. I don't know the effectiveness of it, but to manage things like traffic offenses
That sounds like one that's not working. The CCTV, is that working at all?
I cannot speak to it. I don't know, but things like traffic offenses, right? And we see this. And going back to culture, I can be the biggest and the baddest driver in Nassau, but when I get on that plane, there's a transformation. When I touch down in Miami or the U.S., right, or wherever I am, right, and I change. I'm going to stop at those traffic lights because I realize that there's a different culture that exists. The chances for being caught are great. And this is traffic. I mean, we could debate back and forth. But
also, you don't have any cousins over there who could...
This goes back to culture.
Diminish
or
disappear your ticket or something.
Exactly, right? So the technology can be deployed to assist in something like that to reduce the persons who people are doing it because they figure they're not going to get caught. Yeah. That's essentially what it was.
You want to know, so this is the thing, right? And I think you said it or a texter said it. There are many levels and layers to this, right?
Yes.
And the problem is there are so many breakdowns in our entire society. We have all these wonderful blue numbers that people came about years ago and drilled and put on everybody's door, right? Everybody's house have a number. We don't have a proper postal system. If you had a proper postal system and you had working street lights and working street cameras and all this different stuff, it wouldn't even be a question of, hey, Steven run the light twice last week, right? we send them 2 tickets, and if we do it one more time, we revoking his license, and the police are going to come there, and they're going to rip the decal off of his car for him because we know where he lives. The business license people know where I live. The people at road traffic know where I live. But somehow, like you said, not communicating with each other. The police don't know where I live.
And the technology is there because
Right.
if you look at
You
your
need new technology?
right, but it's there. If you look at your new disc, there's
It
a
has the
barcode.
QR code on it.
Yeah. So
it has all the information, but I've never seen a police officer with a barcode reader at any of these stupid.
my point exactly. My point exactly. We're not properly utilizing the technology that exists.
It's illegal to be drunk while you're driving, right? Where's the breathalyzer?
Are you going to test that?
Where's the breath? They don't even say, "Oh, come start at the car and walk in a straight line." These dudes, them can't even spell their own name. But that's a different topic. But different day.
Okay.
Right?
Let me read these messages really quickly. This one says, I've had 2 separate incidents where parts were stolen off my car. I reported both to the police, gave a report, and nothing happened. Additionally, no one called to give an update, etc. So you can
I'm not
imagine
even
the
gonna
frustration there.
I feel like half the time, and speaking from my experience with when things are stolen from my house, it feels like the police often use that as an opportunity to train fresh out the college junior officers on how to take a police report, but nothing ever comes of it.
And I go back to inundated, tearing the approach to certain enforcement, so that you have, like I said, we have a national model, right? So we need to tear that so that certain levels of investigations can be conducted by a different entity. And it is just a matter of 1, legislation, and 2, training. It isn't that it can't happen or it's impossible. It's legislation and it's training. Because if you're dealing with a minor incident, right? I mean, let's look at how we've moved now with insurers now, where you can video your accident, right? And you can still claim on your insurance because they have created, I don't want to promote anything, right? But certainly that shows that, hey, we are embracing technology, we are changing our rules, we are training the customer, and we're training the insurance investigator. So we have to take advantage of technology and the resources that exist and properly utilize them.
Yeah.
We're gonna always be playing catch up to crime and how we manage crime if we're just waiting for something to go and then we rush to that, and then something happens over here and we rush to that. And we're not really learning from what went wrong or how do we correct the issues.
Got 2 things that you want to see done that can be done almost immediately that you think would make a big transformation in the way we see crime and deal with crime and the crimes that we actually face.
A national crime reporting network, make it easier for the citizen anonymously to report crime. Right? If there's a stolen vehicle on the road, right? I see no reason why we can't have a blast going out to everyone that, hey, a white Toyota was stolen, license plate, whatever it is, and that comes up on everyone's WhatsApp or text message. So everybody's on the lookout for that vehicle. You just now increased your 100 police officers' eyes. You just multiply that to maybe 10,000, 15, 20,000 persons who are now looking and seeing, because what drives that, hey, tomorrow it could be me whose vehicle is stolen. So that's an easy fix, in my opinion, right? That's an easy fix. A national crime reporting network that doesn't ask the citizen to engage, but asks the citizen to keep an eye out for criminality.
It's amazing we've not done this yet.
Yeah, and to me, we have the ability to do it. We have 2 major carriers. All of them are feeding. We have an IRCA. So certainly, again, legislation, education, we can get that information out. Everybody's on WhatsApp. Everybody's on some sort of social media platform. Certainly, not everybody, but certainly majority of us have telephones. We can get that message and see, hey, here's a vehicle that you need to be looking out for.
Yeah.
So to me, that's an easy.
We might have to do a part 2 on this. You want to get that in really quickly? The second one?
The second one is certainly, let's get to these kids. Let's get to these kids in our 3-year-olds, our 4-year-olds, our 5 years old. Let's get to, especially the young men, especially the females as well. Let me not separate either, right?
Yeah.
Get to them when we're seeing this deviance and implement immediately programs to correct that bad behavior. Okay,
or even before we start seeing it, just
Exactly.
immediately put them in there. Right?
Exactly.
There's something out there for everybody, definitely. Gamal Nuri, thank you so much. We may have to do this again.
Certainly.
And
Look forward to
we
it.
brought up a number of issues I want to expand. So going forward, and again, this is once a month, usually the first Fridays of each month, right here on Morning Blend Business, our Safe and Sound series. Gamal Nuri with preventative measures. Thank you again. See you next month.
Thanks for having me, Dwight. It's always a pleasure. Good to be here.
And Stephen Hanna, thank you again, sir.
Yeah.